Now it's time for What If It Exploded, hosted by Lloyd.
I like to say,
Hey, kid.
whole world is smiling with me. Coca Cola has life.
And this has been What If It Exploded, hosted by me, Lloyd.
What's this? My first book, Class of '86, coming July 7th? And it's currently in pre-orders for the ebook version? Yes, follow the links in the comments and in the description to pre-order your copy of my hilarious high school comedy, post-apocalyptic Cold War slasher, as I show some clips from some random movies. I've never promoted a book before, so here's some movies that inspired the book. Class of '86 is also coming in a paperback and hardcover, which will also be released on July 7th. And now on with me trying some sort of food, drink, or snack product for about 5 minutes, and then yammering on for the rest.
Welcome everyone. Let's see who shows up to the noon stream. I know that it's Monday, and I should be sitting here dressed like the cinema snob, either talking about something from 1983 or the next James Bond movie, which will be the next new episode. Not sure when that's going to be because I'm spending this week and possibly the next, even though I may be able to get it done this week, finishing up 1983 in film. And with the explosion that Lloyd did in the intro right there, many things go along with the theme of 1983, even my book promo right there that takes place in 1986, but does have some scenes that take place in the early 80s. The 80s was, or 1983 specifically, a very explosion-heavy year in film. It does get to the point in the 1983 in film retrospective where I am pointing out trailers that will end or somewhere in there, doesn't matter the genre, could be comedy, could be drama, could be, it makes sense. We start out the year with Independence Day 1983, in which Diane Wiest, it's a melodrama in which she blows herself up and her husband in the house. But then, we got comedies, action films, all that filled with explosions, and if someone is in a movie that doesn't necessarily have a very big explosion, like, they'll come back for another one. Like, there was car wrecks, sure, but not as big of an explosion in National Lampoon's Vacation. Therefore, Chevy Chase needs to come back in November for the William Friedkin movie Deal of the Century, in which he's an arms dealer, and there's shenanigans in which he tries shooting a rocket launcher that blows up a building. That happens in that happens in the trailer. November, I got 1983 on my mind. Even though I'm promoting a book with 1986 in the title, I got 1983 in my mind because earlier this morning I was writing the November portion, and it totally works out that I'm promoting my book in which it's part of it is a post-apocalyptic Cold War film, and 1983 is full of it to the extent to where really the book should have taken place in 1983. Honestly, the only reason why it isn't is so it's at least a couple years away from being called Class of 1984, which is already a movie. So, the November not only has the made-for-TV movie The Day After, but it's also got Testament. So if one doesn't scare the shit out of you enough, don't worry, the other nuclear bomb dropping movie will be right there. But I need to talk about something a little bit more cheerful. There is the Coca Cola Ultimate that I have right here, because I know over in not shorts but in YouTube stories, I had me trying the other Coca-Cola taste creations or whatever they're called. There was like Coca-Cola Starlight, Coca-Cola Move, Coca-Cola Dream World. That was the other one. But YouTube I guess they're kind of like me with projects where they try something out and then just kind of forget about it and move on to the next thing. YouTube can be just as ADHD as I am. So YouTube doesn't even have the YouTube stories anymore. So the 10-minute or 10 minutes, yeah, really quick stories, 10 minutes long. Well, makes sense. Last week we tried out Doritos Whoppers, and that video was like an hour long. The video on whatever it was I tried the week before then, that was a 90-minute episode. So it's kind of like I said in the book promo. Yeah, I'll be trying something for a few minutes, then just go along with the rambly ass talking off the top of my head rambling I'm doing, especially at noon. I'm out of my element. I was already planning on doing 2 streams this week to make up for I don't have a new Snob episode today because, again, working on the 1983 one, which you can see over on Patreon, patreon.com/thecinemasnob. You can see all the parts already, minus the November and December parts. But still, that's like 3 hours worth of Cinema Snob that you have over on Patreon right now. You can see that, but I was gonna do the extra stream tonight at 8 Central, which is usually what I do. Then I remembered I've got a Regal mystery movie screening tonight at 7. And I missed the last one. I had kind of guessed what the last one was going to be, and I was right. The one they did last week was the Teenage Kraken movie. And then the one tonight, I'm guessing it's going to be the new Insidious. I've been right, like, the last few times. So I know, like, the first handful of these mystery movies, I've been like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to guess it's this, but then it would turn out to be like something I'd never heard of, like Greatest Beer Run Ever or something like that. I've been right here lately. I think it might be the new Insidious tonight. So I'm going to be at that. Whatever it is, I'll have a review for it up. And then Wednesday, we'll do another stream here as well. I put my book up. It was Friday that pre-orders went up, and already it's been doing fairly well. Like it went. There was one point over the weekend, like it went fairly high in its rankings, in its category. It was in like the top. It was in like the top 20 in the category of humorous science fiction. Now, I don't know if I necessarily have a lot to compete with in that category. For all I know, my book might have been dead last. But it looked like it was really high. It was kind of a high number there for a little bit. But again, I don't know if that category is just me and like the novelization of Strange Invaders. Made that reference because that's one of the 1983 movies. Not a bad movie either. So anyway, click on the link for the pre-orders of the book. It's in the description of this video, and it'll also be in the comments as well. It's also our pinned tweet over at our Twitter at the Cinema Snob. With your help, it could possibly be the #1 humorous science fiction book. Again, I don't know how many are in that category, but it'd be cool to be #1. Help make that happen. Make it the #1 hilarious sci-fi post-apocalyptic slasher book. I can't wait for it to come out. It comes out July 7th. And yeah, it will be. I got this asked. I put this up over in the community section on it was either Friday or Saturday. Sometime within the last few days, I put it up over in the community section here on YouTube. And had a link to it on there and everything. And already there were some people jumping the gun a little bit in the comments. I was looking at the comments, and it was all very good. It was people looking forward to it, very, very positive about it. And then there would be like, then there would be like, is this going to be in paperback? Like it says in the description. What's it about? It says in the description. You just gotta click the link. People are very quick to jump the gun on the comments, but at least it was in a way where it seemed like they were looking forward to it. So yeah, I can only do paperback, or I'm sorry, I can only do ebook pre-orders. It's over on Amazon Kindle, and it will be in paperback and in hardcover, but those will go up I believe that the paperback and the hardcover will go up July 7th, the day that the ebook is released. Like, it says may take such and such time for it to go live, like once you click publish, but usually, like, it gives you like kind of a worst case scenario on how long it might take, but usually it does go up like pretty quick. Like, I replaced the cover at one point to change some lettering on it, and I did that like, I don't know, Friday or Saturday or something, and it'll say like may take up to 72 hours, but it took like 3 hours. So hopefully, fingers crossed that the paperback and hardcover will be the same day. So, all right, Coca Cola Ultimate. I've got, not only do I have it right here, but my stomach was rumbling a little bit too. And you saw last week how much I really didn't like the flame grilled Whoppers. So that means I still have 3 bags of this. If my stomach's, still rumbling, I can reach in here. I tried, man, a couple of times over the weekend. I still don't care too much for it. I tried with like salsa, some other dipping sauces, and I'm going, I don't know how long it'll take me to get through this. Luckily, I got a text like yesterday. It was from Doug, who said, if you need to get rid of a couple of those bags of the Whopper Doritos, I really, 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 really want to try them. So feel free to pawn them off on me, which that always comes in handy because he said the same thing about the sardine candy canes that I had, and that was how I was able to get the sardine candy canes out of my house. So if something's really, really gross, like sardine candy canes, and again, I don't care too much for these, well, Doug will take them. And I'll keep the items that are also gross, but I like them. So I'll keep the Caesar salad candy canes. Thank you very much. So, all right, this is Coca Cola Ultimate, which they are advertising as this like tie-in to gaming, I guess. Like, it says it's made with XP points. I don't know what that means. I guess that means it's made with the type of video game thing that I don't really pay attention to because that's not part of a lot of games that I play. So it's made with the thing that I ignore just because I want to get to the end of the story. But a lot of sodas that are like game tie-ins, you can typically tell right away. Mountain Dew Game Fuel. Not even Mountain Dew Game Fuel. It just feels like most Mountain Dew flavors could go along with gaming. Like, yeah, I could be like when a new Rockstar game comes out or something like that. Something me and Laura have been looking forward to. Yeah, I'll sit there. It won't necessarily be Mountain Dew Game Fuel. It might be Pitch Black or Livewire or Baja Blast or something like that. This I mean, just to look at it, just off the top of my head, I don't think video gaming. I just kind of think more, okay, this is their latest in their creations line. Dream World, Starlight, Move. And now, Ultimate. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so... all right, I have tried all 4 of these. Okay, here's why it's good. I no longer taste the aftertaste of the Doritos Whoppers in my mouth. Like that whatever that is, the chip version of flame grilled burger, old tomatoes and lettuce is out of my mouth. Now this very tropical Coca-Cola drink. I would think that if it's like to tie into gaming, it would be more of an energy drink kind of flavor. There is a Coca-Cola Energy, isn't there? I know there's Mountain Dew Energy that isn't Game Fuel. Is there? I know there's like Coca-Cola Coffee, but okay. So this one, it's very tropical. I do taste a distinct flavor about it, other than Starlight and Dream World, which I remember kind of liking, but I don't I'm hard pressed to remember what the flavor necessarily was of it, other than here is a different kind of flavoring of sugar or pixie sticks that we added to it. Now, Move, Coca Cola Move, I like that one quite a bit because that was like coconut flavored or something. And I had a couple of those, and I really, really enjoyed it. This, I taste peach, honestly. Now, Laura had this before me. She really, really wanted to try. I mean, not this particular bottle. Tastes like backwash. Tastes like our day at the beach the other day. No. So she got one because she was tired of waiting for me to try this one. So she got one. And the other day she had it. And at first she said she couldn't taste much of a difference between Coca-Cola Ultimate and regular Coca-Cola, with the exception of like a hint of like a tropical fruit or something. And me, no. When I try it, this does taste like it would be like Coca-Cola's answer to, there was a Pepsi Peach, wasn't there? Or like Pepsi, there was Pepsi Mango. I remember that. This feels more in line with something like that. Like the whole tying it into video games or whatever. That feels like an afterthought of this. Like this was going to be released regardless, but maybe they, can do some promotion with the PlayStation or something. Even looking at the bottle and the design and everything, looks like this exact same design would exist regardless of it referencing experience points on there in the tiniest lettering that I didn't even see until Laura pointed it out. No, I like it. If the idea, if you go to the bar and you get a lot of Coke with peach schnapps, you'll like this. Just like if you drink Captain and Cokes, you might like vanilla Coke. No, that's like that with this. If the idea of like peach soda sounds good to you and you liked Pepsi's version of that, you'll dig this. I like it. I enjoy it. Do I like it better than I might like Move a little bit better, but this stands out to me more than Dream World and more than Starlight do. Now that I know that it quickly vanishes the taste of the Whopper Doritos, now I'm more inclined to have another one. Still gross. Man. See, that's how it's the boss battle. The boss being the taste of burger Doritos in your mouth, which I've got, apparently it's made with enough experience points that within seconds I can chop down the bridge and send the taste of the Doritos into a fiery lava pit. All right. I see we've got some super chats in there, but real quick, my whole weekend hasn't been only, bleak with watching all of the nuclear holocaust films of November of 1983, which there is a lot of post-apocalyptic movies in 83. Exterminators of the Year 3000, New Barbarians, Striker. I'm probably forgetting like 5 or 6 more of them. 2019, After the Fall of New York. But really, it was a very fun weekend for us. I mean, we sat around the house and got a bunch of food, of course, but we saw season 2 of the new cooking competition series that's coming to Netflix, Is It Cake? And yes, I am going to talk about season 2 of Is It Cake right now. I had 2 things that I could rant about. I flipped a coin on both of them. One of them being I can rant about Is It Cake, or I can rant about season 2 of And Just Like That. Or I can get off on a rant and just start complaining about how distracting it is that Dennis Miller Live doesn't have Everybody Wants to Rule the World on the opening credits like it did when I would watch it back in the day. But anyway, all right, Is It Cake Season 2. Now this is an early rant about this because it actually isn't out yet. Now we watched the first one because, again, even when a cooking competition series has flaws like Chow House, which Laura and I watched, and whatever the new ones are of the week that we also always watch, we watched all of Is It Cake Season 1, and this is the show where, you know, they get these very, very talented bakers in there to make things that look like other things, but actually, you've seen the memes. This looks like a computer chair, but it's actually cake. You know, but this one, it's a competition series. They bring in the comedian judges in to try to pick which one's cake. If they pick it, that person's up for elimination. If they don't, that person could be a winner of the week. It all gets narrowed down to one at the end. We watched it in the first season, and again, it was fun to play along with because that's why I like a lot of these. That's why I like a lot of these cooking competition shows because they're very interactive. It is sort of like, I now know what it's like to watch some sports games. I'm not necessarily a sports guy, but me and Lauren, we watch these competition shows. We're talking at the screen, playing Monday morning quarterback or Monday morning baker or judge in a case of something like this. It's fun to talk along with. So first season, we made it towards the end, even though the judging in it, very, very, very flawed. Now, basically it came down to skill, certainly, because, you know, it takes talent to make something else look like cake. I couldn't do it, really. But when it came to the judges, it would usually come down to luck in that a lot of them would just sort of guess. So it's one of those cooking competition shows where by the end you'd be like, well, you're the winner, I guess, because you're playing it at home and you are seeing the cakes closer than the judges are, and some of it is difficult. Like it isn't super simple. Some of them are, but not always. Now, when it comes to the judges, they'll be sitting there, and sometimes they can tell, but other times they're just saying, I don't know, number 2 maybe, and then that might be right or it could be wrong. So someone could be up for elimination or be declared a winner simply because of a guess. Like there would be ones that would be way, way, way less obvious, but they'd be eliminated because someone was like, I don't know, maybe that one, sure, that. And then, something would be the winner, and it'd be like, clearly, that guitar is cake, obviously. So, but again, fun to watch, fun to play along with. I was curious how much those kind of flaws would change a little bit in the second season. Now, the way that I saw the second season was because it was a few weeks ago when I saw the like the Netflix screensaver or whatever it is, and it had a new season of Is It Cake listed, so I was excited. But I kept forgetting what the release date was, so a weekend would come along, and I would be like, ooh, is this the weekend where we're gonna watch Is It Cake all weekend? And no, it'd be something else, so I guess we're watching a murder documentary or something. So, but then I wasn't sure if it would be last weekend also. So I was like, ooh, I can't wait. Is it going to be there? And then Friday rolls around and it wasn't listed. So I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's the last weekend of June that it comes out. But then I remembered I have a media pass for Netflix. Like I can request screeners on there sometimes. I haven't done it in a while because I just don't review a lot of streaming movies anymore. But I was like, let me log into my Netflix media credentials and send out an email and request a screener for Is It Cake Season 2 because I really wanted to watch it and I got tired of me guessing the wrong weekends. So I had a feeling that they'd get back to me fairly quick because I don't know how many people are asking for screeners of Is It Cake Season 2, and they got back to me fast. They sent me like the whole season of it I don't even think within an hour maybe of me sending out the request. So it was cool seeing like the press release for it, because I hadn't really done that with a competition show. I see press releases and all that for movies that I get screeners of, but a cooking show like this, not really. So there was an embargo on it, but the embargo ended like a week, I think, before I even asked for the screener, and they just asked not to spoil who wins. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spoil who wins or anything like that. So the flaws that I kind of had with the judging about the first season, where it just sort of came down to guesswork from the comedian judges, that's still there. But it does feel like it's kind of worse in the second season. Now, I still had a great time watching because the format is still very, very, very much the same. There is one thing about it where I got a little mad, and so did Laura. So kind of early on in it, not really early, but in like the first third of it, when it comes down to, there's a couple of different rounds, and they have the three comedians up there trying to guess which ones are cake and which ones, like they usually do on the show. But they only have 20 seconds to do so. And if they don't make a guess or key in, they have like a pad in front of them where they key in their guesses, where it's like, oh, I think cake is number 2 and I think it's number 6. But if the 20 seconds, if the 20 seconds go by and they haven't keyed anything in, then those people automatically win and are, or at least, well, they don't get eliminated. They're safe from being eliminated, and one of them will be up for the winner of that particular week, and they'll get to move on to the next week. This is very, very flawed, and I'll tell you why. Because there is a part where there are 4 people competing. They're split up. There's essentially 2 rounds. So you have 2 people right here. Both of them good, or well, all of them are very talented, but you have a couple people where they have their cakes up, and Laura and I are looking at it going, well, okay, it's obviously that one. It's obviously that one. Only the judges didn't key anything in because they were dicking around and just snarking at each other and being like hammy and comedic and yelling, which one is it? Which one is it? They got so into their judgy, yelly, jokey shtick that they didn't key anything in. So those 2 people automatically are safe from being eliminated. And then it gets to the next set of people, which were better, but they remembered to key in their answers this time. But because of that, because of them dicking around in the first round and not dicking around in the second, but still kind of guessing which one they thought it might be, because of that, one of the best ones in the series was the only one who was up for elimination, therefore was the only one who could be eliminated. And it was like so shocking to everybody else that the other contestants had tears in their eyes. Even the one who was eliminated did. and the judges are joking around through a lot of it, going like, oh, hey, we're glad we guessed it right, but this is weird. That means this person's up for elimination. And so the person who was eliminated in this particular round is saying things like, wow, this is a humbling experience. Like she was blaming herself for this, and Laura and I are watching it going, no. This is not on you. This is not your fault. You got screwed by the judges hard. And then this kept happening for like at least a few episodes where the judges would be dicking around and not key in their answers, to the point to where one episode, the host, Mikey Day, says to them, now make sure you key in your answers. And even him doing that, they were still messing around and didn't key anything in. So it's a format to where you could be one of the best ones on the show and not make it very far, versus someone who does make it fairly far and is not, and again, is very skilled, but pretty obvious compared to some of the others. There's a person who makes it a decent way into this, who doesn't really win any of the rounds necessarily, but just doesn't get picked by the judges for elimination. Even though there is one round where this particular person who makes it fairly far, this particular person in one round didn't even finish their cake. Like, they ran out of time and weren't able to, like, color it or anything like that. But then still, like, at the end of that episode was up to move on to the next episode, because the judges were looking at the unfinished cake and saying to themselves, well, that one's got to be real because it looks too obvious. I kind of get that line of thinking, honestly. Like, I can't be that mad because I might think the same thing. Like, well, that one looks really fake, so it's got to be real, right? But still, we had a good time watching it. But that thing that happened like a few episodes in where the woman got screwed by the judges freaking hard, this made Laura so mad. She almost didn't want to keep watching it. Until I was like, but honey, I've been watching so much nuclear holocaust movies lately. I could use a light show where people are guessing what's cake and what's not. But by the end of it, we were both pretty happy. One, it's a fun game. Flaws and all, it's a fun game to play along with. And it did end happy. Like, I liked it. I was satisfied with the conclusion of it. So that's my, I've never had an early review of a cooking show before, but that's me. I just wanted to rant about Is It Cake? What I felt like I should because I requested a screener for it. So anyway, watch it. If you like the first season, you'll probably be fine with this one. It's pretty much still the same show. I'm curious what people say about a few different things that I've talked about once this actually airs, and I think it airs this coming weekend. So, okay, let me go ahead and pull up. I did see a decent amount of super chat questions in there already, so we'll get to the super chat portion of the show and then get on out of here. I say that, but this portion of the show still could last an hour. Hang on. Keep my voice. I wrote the November portion of the 83 episode earlier. Don't know if I'll record it today, depending on how much I lose my voice here. Oh, Robert Hayes is back asking, if the snack crickets still haunt me. This was an early episode of Brad Tries, where it only took about 3 or 4 episodes in where I tried out edible insects. And they're the edible insects you see at, like, you know, a lot of different. I see them at conventions. I see them at stores, like gimmicky kind of stores sometimes, like candy stores and shit. Like I kind of see them around. It was those, like, with the sour cream and onion crickets and the chocolate covered larva. They weren't very good. I don't like exoskeleton from bugs just like floating around in my mouth and sticking to my cheeks, teeth, and tongue. I don't like that. So I didn't care too much for the edible insects. But does it haunt me? No, I've had other stuff since then that are far more haunting. Like, a lot of it I keep doing to myself, like the Whopper chips right here. But then there's also the worst thing that I've ever had. The 30-year-old Reggie bar and the ranch dressing soda. Those haunt me way more. Like, the edible insects are kind of a distant memory. Campbellzilla goes, have you seen 1971's Vanishing Point? Oh, hell yeah, I have. Also, what are your favorite 70s car road movies? Well, Vanishing Point is up there, if anything, just for the soundtrack alone. and the ride or die climax that it has. That one's great. You ever see the remake of that movie? They remade that, like, was it the 90s or early 2000s? It had Viggo Mortensen in it, where they gave it more of like a TV movie plot, because I think it was a TV movie where he's trying to save his daughter or sister or something, and that's why he's racing. I forget, but I remember it not being good. Yeah, of the 70s car movies. Well, Smokey and the Bandit's probably my favorite. Any of the Burt ones, even go back to the early 70s, like stuff like in White Lightning and movies like that. Probably Smokey and the Bandit. But Vanishing Point, I mean, they're both very different tones. If I'm in the mood for something more like Easy Rider, then I'll watch something like Vanishing Point. If I'm in the mood for like a comedy or a good old boy Burt movie, then which happens a lot, that I get in the mood for a Burt Reynolds movie, then yeah, but I like Smokey and the Bandit. Okay. Taranga11A says, it's been 15 times and I still watch your midnight screening of Rise of Skywalker. I love Jared's reaction to your panning of the movie. He's in the chat right now, so don't make him leave if you start knocking his favorite movie, Rise of Skywalker. I'm just kidding, by the way. So that is a great episode of Midnight Screenings, by the way. I haven't seen it 15 times or anything, but if I were to pick like a top 10 episode, it's that. It is Son of God, when Brian and Sarah reviewed that. That's a really good one too. But so, okay, the Rise of Skywalker Midnight Screenings. His reaction in it to me is genuine, because I knew he liked the movie because he was singing its praises when he got out of the theater. And I'm sitting there just kind of thinking in my head, like, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to go after him for liking this piece of shit. No, not at all. It was more so like thinking like, I hated this movie and now I have to like this might bring down his high because I passionately hate this movie. Like, I remember leaning over to Laura halfway through it and going, I hate this movie. So Laura knew that I didn't like it. So we're in the car reviewing it, and I knew I hated it, so I wanted Jared to go first. And it's like the first 6 or so minutes of it, I think, and he's talking, and he loved it. So he's definitely recommending it and everything. And all I was thinking in my head was a couple of things. One, I'm about to kill his evening. And not even that I wanted to. It's just I knew I was about to rant about it. Not to attack him, because it's cool. He had a good time. Like, good that he had a way better time than I did. So I was thinking like, man, this is, I don't want to make him cry. Not that I thought he'd cry, but I was also I didn't think I was going to be in the minority on it, and I wasn't. Like, I just had a hunch that this movie wasn't going to go over very well, at least online. So I was also kind of thinking like, man, the comments are really going to be mad at Jared. It's going to be really, really name-cally in there. And I remember seeing some going like, please tell me Brad doesn't like this movie. So I had a fun time doing it. It was a really funny episode. I can see why that episode has a lot of rewatchability about it. But it is one that I recommended. Like, if someone were to ask which midnight screenings I really recommend, that one's up there. It was fun to do. Okay, Jacob Matthew Crawford. Of the characters from movies you've written or directed that aren't played by yourself, which ones are your favorites? Oh, only me. I give my characters all the dimensions and everyone else 0. Actually, that's not even true at all. The characters I play in movies they're all psychopaths or serial killers or drug dealers or over-the-top villains or something. No, of the other characters that I've written, probably I wrote this movie called Cheap in 2005, in which Dave played a porn producer named Max Force. I really like that character a lot. And Dave was great in that. Like, he stole his scenes in that. I really like... This one might be my favorite. I did really love Dr. Rogan in Hooker with a Heart of Gold. Brian and Sarah played off of each other really well. His comedic timing was very good. Like, he was written to basically be like this Apatow-like comedy character that is inside this exploitation movie that's kind of like an 80s sleaze flick or like a Godfrey Ho movie or something like that. Like, the character I played in it was like basically trying to be like a Godfrey Ho villain. And then you have this comedy character in the middle of all of it. And his lines were delivered perfectly. Just reactions he had, his delivery. Again, Sarah's phenomenal in the movie too, and they had really good chemistry with each other. So those two characters, Dr. Rogan and the hooker, I really, really liked a lot. Other than that, the Rickheads was a fun character to write in Jesus Bro. So no, yeah, those would be those would be over there. Probably Dr. Rogan and the hooker. Danny McGraw goes, "Hello, Brad. Is Nuki still the worst thing you've watched for the snob?" It's what made me the most mad. And I did that episode like in 2010, I think. So like 13 years ago. Double Toasted did a review of it not that long ago, and watching the Double Toasted review, it was like all coming back to me, like things that I'd sort of forgotten about the movie, like the talking chimpanzee and things like that. So yeah, that was a trip watching that review again. I was the most mad when I was watching that because it was just a combination of how bad it was edited and reshot, and the comedy in it was so obnoxious. It was rough. I don't know if I would have that reaction to it now. I mean, I still wouldn't like it now. I still would probably categorize it among the worst things I've watched for the snob, but just how mad I got to where it took me a couple of days to get through it because it was so abrasively obnoxious. It was just putting me in a bad mood, and I had to take a breather. I don't know if I'm much older than I was when I reviewed that, so I'm a lot more laid back. I don't know if I would have gotten like that mad. So if you were to ask me what the worst thing is, like, yeah, that one I had the most extreme reaction to. But in terms of things I think that are worse than that movie, Bat Pussy. Bat Pussy, the worst porno ever made, but it's hilariously bad because it is these drunk white trash people who make this porno movie in which there is no script and they're just ad-libbing drunken redneck insults at each other for like an hour. Dude is so drunk, he can't even get it up. And then you can hear the cameraman belching in the background. You see the actors react to direction that they're being given. One of the actresses falls off the bed at one point, and the guy breaks character to ask if she's okay. Then they all just start laughing. They'll call each other by the wrong names. Its idea of an action sequence is Bat Pussy on a bouncy ball bouncing along the highway. And the greatest thing about it is no one knows who made this. It's on like a Blu-ray and everything, and it is I think I'm on the Wikipedia page for it. It's so notoriously bad that it has like this a deluxe 4K release of it for this stag film. Like it's worth watching. It is. That is probably the worst film I've seen. but you should watch it. I've seen it more than I've only seen Nuki once. I've seen Bat Pussy a few times. And no one knows who made it. They just discovered it in like this reel of films in like Tennessee. Like they pinpoint around when it was made because there's a part in it where one of the actors is reading a Screw magazine and the Screw magazine has a date. And the guy also has like a sports team tattoo, so they can kind of pinpoint around where the movie was made. But no one knows who directed it. No one knows who these actors are. I have no idea. It's sort of like I want to know the answer to all of those things, but I'm afraid the story will just end tragically to the point to where that is actually going to be, this really does kind of tie in to my book, because that'll be my second book. I've been wanting to do this for a while, where it is a fictitious telling of the making of Bat Pussy. Like, it's not real, it's completely fictitious. It is just sort of a what if, not even really a very realistic what if, just a kind of like what if behind the scenes. Who might these people have been? Who might have directed it? Not that it's what I actually think, because it involves like the mafia and hitmen, even though actually, well, it's a 70s porno, so that might actually be the case. But that'll be the second book that I make, that I write, is going to be Bat Pussy. I even checked to see, like, can I release a book that's got pussy in the title like that? I can. So Bat Pussy is going to be my second book. But to tie into my first, Class of 86, Jared, you didn't have to do the super chat. You could have just well, actually, you couldn't have texted it to me, because I've got text on Do Not Disturb right now, because I use my phone. Because I use my phone as the camera. But Jared did a super chat in here. He goes, talk about the Class of 86 Passion movie that's stuck in development hell. Congrats on the book. Can't wait for your interview with Oprah. Oh, yeah. Class of 86. That's going to be an Oprah book club of the month. Yeah, Oprah's going to love my combination of Screwballs, Slaughter High, Exterminators of the Year 3000, and Rat's Night of Terror. I hear all of those are among her favorite movies. If they're among your favorite movies, well, my book's about to be your favorite book of all time. No, yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about this because I'll be doing interviews about it. Not with Oprah, but I'll be doing some interviews to promote the book. And also, I'll be bringing it up in the live stream a lot. So I'll be talking about this part of it more. But yeah, it was originally written in the very early 2000s as a script. And we never would have had the budget for anything like this. That was why it didn't get made. Even if we had tried making it with a budget that we had on, let's say, like another Cinema Snob movie or Jesus Bro or something like that, it wouldn't have looked good. It wouldn't have looked like I wanted it to look. The effects wouldn't have been very good. Like, it just would require a way bigger budget than something like another Cinema Snob movie. Like, that budget worked for that movie. The budget that Jesus Bro had worked for that. Now, if we tried doing that with like this post-apocalyptic slasher period piece, no, it wouldn't. So I didn't even want to try. And then eventually, it was always a dream project of mine, though. Then it turned into, you know what, I should actually turn this into a book. That way, I can put everything in it that I want to be in this. Like, nothing has to be taken out or anything like that. I can just, for better or worse, this is all from me and not, things. If anything is changed, added, taken out, it's all things that I want for all three of those things. And also, yeah, I could expand on a hell of a lot more in turning it into a book. And since the script of it was written in the early 2000s, I looked at that and was like, this has got to be severely rewritten. And it was. It was not just simply me converting script to book. It was severely rewritten. I'm like, I don't like this dialogue at all. And let me change a couple of these things around here. Some lines are still in it, but no, a lot of it is rewritten. But anyway, again, click on the link in the comments and the description to pre-order your ebook of Class of 86 today. Make it the #1 seller in its category of humorous science fiction. All right, this is from Andrew Polino, from famed Andrew Polino, for a dancer from the movie Disco. Hey Brad, I feel like each of your cats have their own unique personalities. What special personality quirks have Bert and Pearl developed? Well, if you've seen Bert and Pearl in a couple of the Snob episodes, you know they are evil twins who are possessed by either Satan or they are twin cats from the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. They could be doing just ordinary, simple things, but will be doing it evil, as you've seen in the Snob episodes, where they're just simply talking about food, or they want the windows rolled up, but they're saying it simultaneously, which therefore makes it evil. With my voice overlaid over my voice. That's fun to do. No, they're young. They're very young. They're less than a year old. So they're teenagers in cat years. So they're very very hyper. They run across us when we're asleep. During the day, they tend to chill out a little bit and rest on their perch. Unless I go into another room, then they will wake up and follow me there. Now, they like chasing around their toy mice. They love playing fetch. They bring us the toy mice. They even bring us the the like feathers on the string on the little wand. They will grab that and bring it to us, and just hopped up on just it naturally hopped up on sugar like all young cats are. They'll do like backflips, like Olympic backflips and everything up in the air to play with their little string and all that. So yeah, I'll pop up Burton, Pearl, and some more episodes in the future. Looks like that's all we got for our super chat questions. Excellent. Got some time to chill out a little bit. Then I can go see my mystery movie at I'll go see my mystery movie over at the Regal tonight, which again I think is going to be the new Insidious. That is my guess. I'll let you know here when I stream again. When I stream again on Wednesday, I'll let you know what the mystery movie was. Actually, I think the review for the movie will be up before then, so you might know even before that happens. So, all right, well, that was a lot of fun, people. Thank you for joining me for, again, trying out a drink for about 5 minutes and then rambling my ass off for the rest of the time. I'm glad I don't drive you all too nuts with these. They're fun to do, and I hope you find them entertaining. I hope you find my rambling ADHD ass entertaining. So, okay. Thanks a bunch, everyone. We'll be back on Wednesday. Let's get that King Frat music in here. Then we're out. Take care. Thanks for watching.